All right. As you saw in the title, and as you're hearing and reading and seeing this, if you're listening to this, Trivia Showdown is back. I am joined by Michael and Shannon. I say back, this might be episode 14. This might be episode 12. It's officially episode 12 according to whatever we do, because we've done 12 of them now. But Michael's actually making a return, kind of, sort of, to defend his title. First timer here, Shannon Smith. We're super excited to have him. He does a lot of work over on Tobacco Road Sports Radio with Michael. Before we jump into the Trivia Showdown, I'll let these guys introduce themselves for a second, talk about what they do, where they typically put out content, and then I'll do a little rule blurb at the top, and then those who have listened before or know the rules are super excited to jump into this, but I'll make sure for the new listeners we go over that. So really quick, Shannon, you're here first, at podcast_Smitty. We see that on the screen, of course, for those YouTube audiences. I do encourage people to watch this on YouTube. There'll be some fun graphics that go throughout here as well to kind of accompany the show. So if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, that's awesome. We appreciate it as well. But Shannon, introduce yourself, and then Mike follow right after that.
Shannon Smith, a big-time Tar Heel fan, big-time 49er fan, also covering the Panthers on the Cat Cave with Michael Davis and Ryan Frick. Been featured on the Drop the Mic Wrestling podcast with Michael Davis, and also doing a little bit of broadcast work with Square Circle Champions Wrestling live events we've been doing. Our third live event will be July the 6th at Ferguson, North Carolina, as we cover some wrestling. Glad to be on the show, Trevor. Thank you very much.
And Shane basically said all my resume, because we do a lot of this stuff together. Out of Pocket with Michael Davis, obviously a roundtable panel talking about sports in a quick 30 minutes for your lunch break. As of now, that is the time. So we'll do that. I do a weekly wrestling podcast as well. I write content for Fans First Sports Network. And I swear, I think I'm probably going to pick up like 3 or 4 other gigs or jobs by the time this airs. So we'll just insert that into like a caption or subtitle right here, Trevor.
Love it. Yeah, thanks for all the extra editing work for no reason. Yeah, it's all honestly courtesy of Desmond Johnson, who does a lot of great work, Tobacco Road Sports Radio. I always want to make sure I don't mess the title up in the right order of those 4 words. But Des will be on the show for a sit-down 30, 45-minute interview about, kind of the background of Tobacco Road, his background of the Triad, stuff like that. So wasn't really actually supposed to announce that, but by the time this goes out, that'll actually be coming out, so it'll all make sense. Again, people are going to hear this. I have no idea when this is technically going to go up, so for listeners, I try to, we're doing these throughout the summer. I need to take some time off this summer, so these are going to be what fill that time. Obviously, they're very, very popular, so we appreciate all the support there. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff you guys always do. So whatever number episode this is, in my notes, it's episode 12. Again, it might not be, but whatever. The first couple questions are going to be themed around the finals. As we're recording this, we are recording this on Friday, June 7th. The finals game 1 had already concluded, so Celtics took a 1-0 lead. Question 1, question 2 will be based on the Celtics and the Mavs, and then I'll talk about the rules really quick, and we'll jump right into it. So in the past, we've done 12 formats of these, like I said, varying different guests, score types, and whatever, right? We've done all kinds of crazy stuff, but the theme has been the same. Hopefully you have fun. Hopefully you learn something. And hopefully it is difficult. That is the most important, right? This is not supposed to be easy. It's called Trivia Showdown for a reason. How this format came about, my former co-host and I, Josh, were like, hey, we need to do a Trivia Showdown type of show in the summer. We used to do trivia at the end of every episode, kind of like the segment Michael does at the end of Out of Pocket. What is that? You name it or something like that? I can't remember the name of it now. I haven't been on in a couple weeks.
That
aged well. Look, I normally my thing is don't age well, so that's probably why I forgot. So... at the end of the day, it's a really fun format. Two multiple choice out of the 10 first questions here will be one of the guests. The player resume will be on there as well, close to the number. Some fun formats to get us there, and then a finale at the end, 60 seconds. Anybody's in it, nobody's out of it ever, because there's so many possible answers for the finale. So before we jump into it, any questions? I know I went over the rules with you guys before we started. Good to go.
Can we Can you send me a rundown of all the questions you have?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Just me, and then I'll forward it over to Shannon because I'm just that great of a guy.
Yeah. I will trust that email thread gets there. All right. Without further ado, I haven't done this in a year, but I'm super excited to jump right into it, so we're going to do that. Question 1, Somehow you guys looked into this, and by the way, you will write your answer down. You'll say it. Just take your time. I'll tell you, like, hey, not really clocking anything here. It's supposed to be fun. I'll fill in the dialogue. So, question 1, we aren't going to take a ton of time on because it is multiple choice. So I'll read it a handful of times. If you have any questions on clarity, I will answer them. I will not give any additional hints. There are some in there that may offer hints, etc. You'll see what as we get through it. Question number 1 is going to be themed on the Celtics, the team that took the 1-0 lead. That was unintentional. Which of these players below is the only player in Boston Celtics franchise history to average 30 points per game in a single season? Is it A, Isaiah Thomas, B, Jason Tatum, C, Larry Bird, or D, John Havlicek? And again, I'll write it down, read it, whatever you guys got to do. Take about a minute or so to think. Which of these players is the only player in Boston Celtics franchise history to average 30 points per game in a single season for the Celtics? Is it A, Isaiah Thomas, B, Jason Tatum, C, Larry Bird, or D, John Havlicek? I do not care if you write the letter, but I would prefer you write the player's name, and that's why I'll read the answer choices a handful of times again before we get an answer. But, I don't want to say, like, I wrote down D. I thought that was Isaiah Thomas, or I thought that was Jason Tatum, or I thought that was whatever. So, whatever you'd like to do there, that's totally fine. Just make sure you include the player's name in some way. Which of these players is the only player to average 30 points per game in a single season for the Boston Celtics franchise history? Isaiah Thomas, Jason Tatum, Larry Bird, or John Havlicek? So again, multiple choice. Any commentary to add? Obviously, this one's kind of, I wouldn't say easy, but it's, anything from you guys. You guys look like you're ready. You've already put your pencils down.
I mean, I'm ready. I'm just trying to figure out what D in sign language is. Because you got A, B, C.
I couldn't tell you.
This?
So.
That's it. You had it right.
Okay. Bet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we'll start with Michael, and I guess you need to, for the YouTube audience, give me your answer in sign language and then say it out loud for those that do need to hear it.
Well, I can't even remember what order this was, so that deemed that pointless. But I learned something today, so I've already accomplished one of them. Now, I was kind of unsure. One of these guys seems like the obvious answer, but knowing that scoring has been elevated, I was between IT and JT. And to support my Duke Blue Devils, I just went ahead and said Jason Tatum.
That is, hold that back up again. I want the audience to know how much of a marketer Michael Davis is, because his ats are on the whiteboard. No one's ever done that. 12 episodes, no one's ever done that. We've had someone bring a whiteboard that's literally like, it took up the entire screen. I'll put it on the screen for the YouTube audience. I've had a guy do like a whiteboard the size of a classroom. But we've never had someone put their ats on their whiteboard. So, Shannon,
that deserves a couple extra points, by the way.
That's pretty. I don't know about points, but we got to have this fair. So, Shannon, but this is the way we do this. I ask for both your answers, just so everybody lock them in, and then I'll give the answer. So, reveal your answer, my friend.
Okay, I was kind of drawn between two answers as well, too. I wanted to say Isaiah Thomas, but I think I'm going to go with my NBA expertise and put D. And if you're smart, you know that Dan Havlicek was one of the fathers of the swingman, meaning he played two different positions. He's the father of the swingman. So I'm going to say Havlicek, D.
All right. By the way, continue to keep the reasoning behind the answers up, because it really helps me. Really seriously, like it's not like wow, they did all this explanation and it was way wrong. Like I want that, right? We want that because that's content. However, it really does help me in the future. I've got 50 more questions prepared for multiple episodes. Spoiler, I guess, to those that are potentially going to be on this show. But as I go through it, like, okay, some of these questions are similar, so your background thought is kind of where I'm trying to figure out how difficult the questions are. So I really appreciate it. Keep this up. So that helps me. Like, oh, that question I didn't think was this, and this is how they thought of it. So maybe I should think of this one. All right. Anyway, enough of blabbering on. Question 1 at the 9-minute mark. The correct answer, and we are giving a point out on this one, is going to be Jason Tatum.
Let's go!
Jason Tatum. It's a really good thought process on both your parts. I'm going to go through a couple of things, too, as well, just for some background here. Isaiah Thomas was choice A. He was 28.9 at his peak. Jason Tatum, 30.1, by the way. So, didn't technically even, like, it's just crazy how, like, this wasn't even like a runaway 30. C is Larry Bird. Anybody want to guess what Larry Bird's career high average was?
27.5.
26.4.
29.9.
Dang.
It almost was a two answer. It almost
I
was
knew
a double.
Bird was a distractor, because if Bird would have got 30 points, you would have heard about it during that time. So
Bingo. That's right. John Havlicek was D. He was the closest outside of Larry there with Isaiah. They were tied 28.9. That's the reason I did this question, because it's really fascinating. The name's up there, but the fact that Isaiah Thomas and John Havlicek, I think that's, again, to Shannon's point earlier, Hondo had the same amount of points as the current scoring elevation that Isaiah Thomas had. That's kind of crazy if you think about it. And John Havlicek was a legend. I agree with you there. 22 and 23 was the year Jason Tatum did that. So it was actually 2 seasons ago. All right. Question 1 we are done with. We're going to move on. Question 2 is a Mavericks theme. So we're going to keep rolling with the Celtics Mavericks finals theme. Former Dallas Mavericks head coach Rick Carlisle led the Pacers to the Eastern Conference Finals this year. However, that was his first playoff win, or series win, was against the Bucks, obviously, in round 1. His last playoff series win came in what year and against what team? You have to get both to get the point. Rick Carlisle got... Yeah.
That question? Okay.
Former Mavericks head coach Rick Carlisle led the Pacers to the Eastern Conference Finals this year. Obviously, to get there, they had to win a playoff series, right? His last playoff series win as a head coach came against what team and in what year? I know it's hard to get both, but if you don't think, I can change it, but this is supposed to be question number 2, and it's actually technically not that. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not trying to talk it out through too much here, but question number 2, I'll read it again for the audience. Former Mavericks head coach Rick Carlisle led the Pacers to the Eastern Conference Finals this year in 2024. Obviously, you have to win a playoff series to go that far. What was the last playoff series win that Rick Carlisle had as a head coach against what team and what year? And while they are thinking about it, have not done this except for in the intro, don't forget that SeatGeek is the presenting sponsor of the Two Pointers podcast. We greatly appreciate SeatGeek's support. Helps bring out content like this, anything in the future that we're working on. Use code 2Pointers, $20 off your first purchase. Whatever you're doing this summer, baseball games, sporting events, concerts, anything that SeatGeek has, it's probably on the app or online, SeatGeek.com. That is linked in the top of the description. Code 2Pointers again is $20 off your first purchase. Greatly appreciate all the support on the SeatGeek code, as well as the opportunity that SeatGeek gives us. So thank you again to SeatGeek. Use code 2Pointers for $20 off your first purchase. I am not going to do that between every question. You guys are going to help me fill some time as well. Do we have an answer locked in potentially?
I do.
I don't. No. Okay. Say that again, because
yeah, I got you. We're good. We don't have time limit. Former Mavericks head coach Rick Carlisle led the Pacers to the Eastern Conference Finals, right? So you obviously had to win a playoff series to get there. That's just kind of the thing to think about, right? He won first time since blank. His last playoff series win, so winning an entire series, came in what year against what team?
That was he was with the Pacers the first time, right?
Could be. He's been a coach at multiple stops.
Okay. I was just making sure that
That's good clarity. Yeah, you can ask clarity questions. Yeah. It's all good. Yeah. If I think it's going to give away too much, I might not give too much of it. But yes, that Rick Carlisle as a head coach, the last time that we think that he did this.
So I was between 2 teams, and I know Rick Carlisle used to coach the Dallas Mavericks, and one of their bigger rivals was San Antonio Spurs. So I could have totally seen something against the Spurs, maybe even the Oklahoma City Thunder was pretty prevalent back in that time. But I feel like this question was to take a jab at me, because Rick Carlisle was the coach when he beat the Miami Heat in 2011, and that's my answer, unfortunately.
That is a roundabout way to you think I'm going to jab at you. I want you here, man. I don't want to take any shots. That would be crazy. Shannon, do you have your answer as well, my friend?
Well, I think I might have got it wrong because I do remember that. I was going to say OKC in 2011 was what I had, was OKC in 2011, but I think I'm wrong.
Okay. I'm a kind person. I just want to make that abundantly clear before I say what I'm about to say. I think I'm a kind person. I am going to give both of you a point. Okay? And here's why. Here's why. I realize doing this now that that having both was probably I should have probably structured it as you got to get the team and then you maybe get a bonus point, whatever. I'm impressed that you both got the year. That's what I'm going to say. So go ahead and mark yourself down for a point. You both deserve a point for the year. Me change the rules up on the fly. I'm allowed to do that. I'm the host. But Michael is going to get another, he's going to get the full point, or I guess technically it would be 2. We're going to do that. How do I see? That's why I want to leave that up for you guys. How do you want to do that? I mean, I think Shannon deserves a point. So
I think Shannon deserves a point with 2011.
I mean, it's incredible.
If I get 2 points for it being Miami, I knew you would do that. Dang
it is Miami. So I'll go give Michael 2 since there's nobody's out of it because the finale is ridiculous and has like 48 answer choices. So we're going to go with Michael got 2 points there, and there is some other opportunities for double points later as well. So
I can dig that. That's cool.
All right. I think I'm just the fact that you both got 2011. I'm like, I would feel terrible walking away going like, yeah, Shannon got the year for crying out, and he was 1 series off. The Oklahoma City Thunder made the Western Conference Finals that year. I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, guys, I don't know. All right. That is insane. So we are 16 minutes in through 2 questions. So we're going to keep rolling. I'll get a score update here soon. But congrats on a point for both of you guys there. Question number 3. No more finals. We're just NBA history, big 78-year bubble here, right? Sorry, couldn't really give you a theme. But I did tell you it was going to be NBA everything. I didn't clarify what that meant. All right, question number 3. Michael Jordan, people might call the greatest player of all time. Not up for debate on this show today. Michael Jordan outscored in his career. He faced 983 players, and he outscored 982 of them in head-to-heads. So there is one player up in the ether right now, obviously only in the time he played, that he faced on a points per game basis that he did not score more than in head-to-head matchups. Who was that player?
Is this a head-to-head like shooting guard versus shooting guard, or
head-to-head? He played 900. No, this is any player. He went head-to-head against any position. He went head-to-head with 900. I just want to say the stat again because I think it's insane. 983 players in his career he faced head-to-head, and he outscored 982 of them. There is one player lingering here. Who is that player? This answer did surprise me. As much of a fan of this player as I am, it did surprise me. So that's not a hint. That's just me talking out loud with however you want to take that. Normally when I say stuff like that, there's a history of this show where it has thrown people off more. So don't I'm just talking to fill commentary, right? I may give a nugget. You never know.
I really think I know this. I mean, for real.
I found this from a viral video about 5 years ago. So yeah, maybe you saw the viral video. Maybe you've heard of it.
I didn't, because if it's a viral video, I probably would have seen it.
Somebody made a video about this, and I was like, wow, that's really awesome. And I wrote it down 5 years ago, and I didn't even know the show was a thing 5 years ago. I found it in my photos a few years ago. I was like, this is a question. I mean, think about it, right? Think about how great Michael Jordan is, and there's one guy he did it against. It's just crazy to think this one guy is able to do that. So, and I have the points to back it up too. So, again, not putting a clock on it, but I'm gonna give y'all about another minute. Michael, you look like you're thinking hard. Shannon's ready, so I'm trying to give him an advantage here. He's down. I'm trying to keep things fair. All right. I like how it clicked too. I like whatever I said. I don't know if it was something I said or if you just got it, but I like that it clicked. I hope it was right.
I feel so stupid because I didn't know from the get-go, and I should have known this, man.
Look, again, these aren't supposed to be easy. This as a multiple choice. You'll see when I give you the answer. As a multiple choice, you'd be like, all right, I could have probably figured it out conclusively some way. But the whole point of the show is I want you to think. I want the answers from all over the place because you'd be surprised how many people have pulled stuff oh yeah, and I'm like, there's no way they should have got that, and they did. So. There's a perfect example while Michael's thinking. He's got about 15-20 seconds. Perfect example. We were one of our first ones. We did Houston Rockets themed trivia with 2 Houston Rockets creators, and I wrote down Hakeem Olajuwon. I think it was career steals and blocks combined or something like that, and they both wrote the exact same number.
Wow.
Out of how many numbers are in existence? I mean, they literally wrote the exact same number. I couldn't believe it. Still don't believe it. So, all right. I'm going to go ahead and put a clock on it, Michael. Do you have an answer
good.
at least?
I'm good.
All right.
Good.
Cool. The sun's beaming in on you now, too. So
I know, right? It's like the light bulb went off.
Yeah, I hope it is. All right, Shannon, we'll get your answer first since you locked it in first.
Okay, see, I about royally screwed up because I was thinking of Bernard King at first. I was thinking of him, but that was too late in Mike's career. Also, Bernard King was an older player.
Right. But
then it dawned on me because of that 1996 NBA All-Star game. It dawned on me. No, not 96, 98. I'm sorry, 98. The 98 All-Star game. And it just totally dawned on me. And I'll just go ahead and give you the quote. We sitting here. I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we in here talking about practice. AI.
AI. Okay, Michael.
So I did consider Allen Iverson. I did consider that one. I also considered Reggie Miller just because of 3-point shooting. And then
Are you saying, hold on. Is Michael Davis saying that Michael Jordan is not a good 3-point shooter? Is that what No, I'm totally joking. I'm joking. Sorry.
And then Trevor was like, this is one of my favorite players. And I'm just putting this answer out there because I could have picked from 983 players. I picked this one just to say
That's
that
the question, yeah.
I really do miss Trevor's backdrop. I did put the late, great Kobe Bryant. So if you pick against me, you're picking against Kobe Bean Bryant.
Here's what's crazy. So this won't matter to the listeners, but I'm just going to say it anyway. This will be more for you guys. But my goal this weekend, this is the first weekend in forever since we moved. I've been moved a year, where I'm like, I am going to finish this office. So hopefully the next time that the three of us, two of us, one of us does a podcast, there will be a Kobe Bryant backdrop again. However, this is the way I'm going to turn the question around. However, there will also be an Allen Iverson picture in the background, and that is the correct answer. I have an AI afro from Slam Magazine, one of my favorite pieces of basketball anything. What's crazy is I can't find it. I actually have no idea where it is, and I'm going to be really sad if I can't find it. But Allen Iverson is correct. He is one of my favorite players of all time. The swag, the way he played, the fact that you can now say, you guys now can take this wherever you want and tell people that in head-to-head matchups, Allen Iverson averaged 29.8 points per game against Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan averaged 23.5 points per game. We're talking that's not like a one. I'm not giving you some cherry pick stat here, right? Only player in Mike's career. So
only one.
Love AI. I feel like his legacy is going to continue to grow the more I do this longer, because I'm just going to find stuff like this. And so shout out to Allen Iverson. Football legend, too, in Virginia as well.
Yes.
All right. Let's get a score check, because I honestly am lost already.
I got 3.
All right, see, look.
Oh, yeah, that's right there. You got
he even gave you the extra point. Like I asked for permission, and he was still forgot. He's like, that's why I don't do it. That's why I make you guys do it on your board, and I just trust that you did it, and I can watch back later if you didn't, right? Of course. All right. Let's do some coaches. Let's talk about some NBA coaches. Question number 4. And I'll tell you, by the way, if it's multiple choice or has a theme, I'll tell you beforehand as well. This one does not, which is why I said that. 6 different NBA head coaches have won Coach of the Year who had what first name? 6 NBA head coaches in history have won Head Coach of the Year with what first name? And, it's a first name. I don't need anything else, but we're not going to be here for 5 minutes waiting on this one, because this isn't like I'm having you think about some player in the 60s or something. So what NBA head coach, or what name, 6 different NBA head coaches have won Coach of the Year who had what first name?
Definitely not Chuck.
All right. Okay. I love it. I love the context. Because, look, there have been, I think, what, you're thinking like Chuck Daly, right? Is that what I'm thinking about?
Oh, and there's a lot of Ricks.
There's a lot of Ricks. Yeah.
A lot of Ricks.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm double checking as I don't have you guys up right now, so y'all can keep talking. I am pulling up Coach of the Year history of the NBA just to make sure that I didn't miss any in the last few years that would have thrown this stat off. I actually wrote this one down a few years ago too as well. So let me just double check as you guys are talking there, figuring it out, whatever you got to do. NBA Coach of the Year award. Show me the answers, please. Thank you. All right. Actually, if anything, you know what's funny is if anything, it made this question even funnier because Nope, just kidding. All right, we're good. I almost gave it away. When I said that. And then I was like, nope, not gonna back that one up.
I'm good. I got an answer.
All right.
Nope, sorry.
I was reading through it. I'm like, I have to be really careful because I take detailed notes for these, so I don't intentionally read the answers. As an example, while Shannon's finishing up his answer, question 1 right there. I wrote the numbers next to the Celtics names. And I almost said them, but I've almost done that like 5 different times. Like where I'm like, oh yeah, and Isaiah Thomas has this much. Like, oh crap, I can't do that. So, all right, are we both locked in?
I'm locked in.
Michael Davis, you locked in early. Let's see it.
All right. So, what better name is there than Mike? If my camera decides to come into balance, I did write Mike.
Yeah.
I saw that.
having some visual technical.
I believe you.
difficulties.
I see that coming.
All right, Mike.
Shannon, what you got?
I'm gonna go ahead and stick to my guns and say Rick.
Okay.
Guns.
I gotta start thinking these questions through better because that was genuinely an accident that Mike's the right answer.
Yes,
I swear, Shannon. I swear to God, he's been on the show before. I understand that, but like that was completely unintentional to have the Heat question. That was kind of intentional. Like, all right, he played. I thought that was fascinating that Rick hadn't beat anybody since then. Right?
So does that mean I get 1 point for that question?
Yeah, you do. Yeah. No, you got the correct answer.
I mean, there's 4 letters in Mike, but 7 letters in Michael.
I counted. All right, I'll go through that. That's actually a good point. So I'll go through that with you. So I don't have like the years on all these guys. I'm just going to read them. 6 different NBA head coaches have won Coach of the Year that had the first name Mike. Schuler once, Dunleavy once, D'Antoni twice, Budenholzer twice, and Brown twice. Yeah. So I almost gave it away with the Mike Brown. I really did because so I knew he won. I couldn't remember if I wrote down twice. I honestly couldn't remember when I wrote this question, right? So I wrote this question years ago, I guess, somewhere, and I put Brown twice in parentheses, and I'm like, he won that a few years ago, I'm pretty sure. Let me just make sure it wasn't a third time for Mike Brown. It was not. I did this question at some point after 2022 because that's when he won it, of course, with Sacramento. And just got a contract extension literally like a week ago. So shout out to Mike Brown. Shout out to all the Mikes.
Shout out to all the Mikes.
Yeah, seriously. Again, total accident. Redemption. Shannon's coming back, and I'll do a Shannon themed question, like a Shannon Brown themed question or something like that.
Wow! No.
What? Oh, that block was crazy. That's how I remember it. Whatever.
Dope. I mean, for real, the block was dope, but no, just don't.
Am I missing something about Shannon Brown that we need to take offline? Like,
that's okay. That's okay. I'm being stupid.
Oh, okay. I was like, is there a Shannon I'm missing? And other than Sharp, obviously NFL wise, but I'm thinking like NBA. Is there a Shannon I'm forgetting? Like, I don't think so, right? Yeah, Shannon Brown. Shout out to all the Shannons out there. All right. Question number 5. I'll get a score update here in a few minutes. What current NBA franchise has a league leading in history 6 different iterations of the team city or team name in their history? So I'll read that again because it's kind of funny. What current NBA franchise has a league-leading 6 different changes or iterations of the team city and or team name? So just add it all together. You know, here's a bonus point opportunity. If you tell me how many times they've done it, because this question's not easy. If you tell me if you get the number right, you have to get the team right to get the number right. I'm not going to give a bonus point if you just write a random number down. So what current NBA franchise has a league-leading 6 different iterations of the team/city in their name? Where they
You just gave us the number of 6, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I will give you a bonus point opportunity at another time. I apologize. See, look, I don't even have. You know what's crazy? I don't even have 6 written down. Like that was just a total. Like oops. There you go. So look, these shows are not supposed to be like. This is not Wheel of Fortune, which by the way, as we're recording this, total random nugget. But tonight, as we're recording this will be months before people hear this. But Pat Sajak retires from Wheel of Fortune tonight. This is his last show tonight. So
last show, baby.
Yeah, so it's crazy to think that like he's passing the torch over to some podcaster in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's crazy. Anyway, I'll read the question. I'll read the question again. What current NBA franchise has a league-leading 6 different iterations of the team, city, or name? Anything y'all can give us here? Anything I don't have to fill time with? Any thought process that might not help your opponent?
I don't know if it's not the Jazz. I mean, because they only went to New Orleans and then Utah, and that's like the weirdest. Like the Utah Jazz is so weird because Utah is not jazzy at all. And so
let me make sure. I like that you said that. That's good. That's a good example, right? They've only moved once, and they went from the New Orleans Jazz to the Utah Jazz, right? So let me make sure I clarify and I'll give you an extra minute after I say this. That counts to me as that's 2. So like if that was the answer, I would say it's that iteration in some form or fashion.
Right. And
by the way, this is straight off a Basketball Reference, which brings in data from the NBA directly for history. So this is the NBA vouches that this franchise, it's some way or another. I don't know how. I'm going to read it through. We're all going to be like, what? But it's somehow, some way, this franchise is this other franchise that we are now currently knowing them as.
Okay, so you said that we can write down as many answers as possible, right?
No, I was saying like don't write the number. No, so write down your answer. Write down your answer and lock it in. But I'm saying like for the number. Like I gave the number way by accident. That was
Yeah.
for the number part of it.
I mean, I'm talking about you can have more than one answer, right? You said write down as many answers as possible. Was that what you were saying?
Oh no,
That-
for the
that was-
finale.
that's
For the
a
finale.
different question.
Yeah,
For the
okay.
finale.
Question.
Yeah, for the finale, make sure you have plenty of room.
Then I'll
I'll explain the
then I'll go ahead and erase
finale
it
again.
because I think that I may have it. I think I do.
It's all good.
I got it.
And
I
you can
got
write down as many as you want on your own paper. When we lock it in, that's just whatever you think is the answer. So
I think I got it.
some people write down stuff to help them think like they don't forget a name or something like that.
Yeah, I erased it anyway, to be honest with you, so it's cool.
It's all good. Works out. All right. Shannon, give me the answer.
I want to say the Lakers.
Okay.
So the Lakers was one of my picks for this. I also considered the Wizards because the Bullets. I also considered Philadelphia because have they always been the 76ers or were they the Sixers? Like there's a couple things there. But
That's interesting. I like that. It's good.
But I do remember the Oklahoma City Thunder were formerly in Seattle. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the Oklahoma City Thunder as my pick.
I like it.
Okay. I was going to give you this hint and I didn't, and I'm kind of glad I didn't because
We were both wrong.
yes. So I was going to let you say it first. So, however, though, right? You guys have been on fire. I want you to start not being like, I want the score to not be like 18. I want somebody to like, all right, he beat me up until the finale, like whatever. I want this show to be rewarding. Okay. But no, so the Lakers was the right track with historically, like just think about how many years it takes a team to get to this current iteration, right? This team, I'll just read it backwards to kind of build the suspense. This team started out in 1961 as the Chicago Packers.
Dang it! I can't believe that. I wrote that down.
Hold on though.
God.
It's gonna blow your mind when you actually hear the right. You might be on the right track. Don't say it. Don't say it yet. Hold on. You might hold on. Well, maybe you did. I want to hear. I want to hear if you think you're on the right track. They from 1961-62, that 1 year, they were the Chicago Packers.
Yes, I know.
They then became the Chicago Zephyrs.
Yes.
Yep.
Keep
All right.
going.
And then the Baltimore Bullets, which is the 1963-73 version of the Bullets. They were then the Capitol Bullets. Shit has turned his camera off. They were the Capitol Bullets from 73 to 74. They were literally one season as the Capitol Bullets. This is what gave them the point because they were a lot of teams were tied with 5 and they had 6. Shout out to the Capitol Bullets in 73-74. They then became the Washington Bullets from 74 to 97 as we knew them. And as Michael said it but didn't get it, unfortunately, that's why I wanted to build up the suspense here. The current...
I had them wrote down, man.
So,
I'm happy for you.
Watch this. So you see how there's like a kind of like a slant right here? I was about to write Washington.
No.
I get you. That's the crazy thing is the fact that you both almost got it is crazy to me. This is a hard question, I think.
Because I remember that, man, because the Bulls were not affiliated with the Chicago Stags. They were not affiliated with them. They weren't.
That's right.
And then when they became the Bullets, because I remember that, they were the Baltimore Bullets. Then they went, I had that wrote down. Ah, dang, man.
That's what I want. I want this to be hard, man.
And I remember when they changed the name because the NBA turned 50 the year that they changed the name to the Wiz because their GM didn't want the violent reference because of Washington, D.C. And I remember that. I was like, God, man, I had that.
Love it. All right. We're going to keep rolling because I know we got other things, pods and stuff. All right. What's up?
It's okay. Yeah, keep going.
Very understandable frustration because that question. I'm seriously though. I'm an NBA historian at heart. Michael knows that. I've talked about it with him many times. That I'm proud to know that there are people out there that know what the Chicago Packers and Zephyrs are because a lot of fans just don't, and I applaud you for that knowledge. All right, question number 6. We're changing up the format a little bit. Guess that NBA player by blind resume. So I am going to pull up on my phone so I don't switch around and click the wrong button and mess with the Zoom. I'm going to pull up a player, any player in NBA history on Basketball Reference, so I understand big pool here. And I'm going to read their resume, and I'm going to give you about a few minutes to kind of go through it. So give me just a second because my phone is not acting like it wants to. All right. I have the player in front of me. I'm not going to give you a couple of things I'm not going to give you. Jersey number, I'm going to tell you now. Years, it's just going to be strictly Basketball Reference resume. Okay. So this player is a member of the NBA 75th anniversary team. They're a Hall of Famer. They're a 2-time All-Star. They're a 1-time rebound champion, 1-time block champion. And by the way, you can write this. You can write these categories down. I'm going to read them as many times as I think you need them for a few minutes here. So if you need to write them down, you can. But don't worry, I'll keep reading them. So Hall of Famer, 2-time All-Star, 75th anniversary team member. So we're narrowing it down there a little bit. I did tell you it was any player, and it's technically not. It's technically 75 players here. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to mention that nugget there. Rebounding champ, block champ, 1 time. 2-time NBA champ, 2-time All-NBA player, 2-time All-Defensive player. Finals MVP, 6th Man of the Year, and 75th anniversary team.
6th Man of the Year.
So Hall of Famer, 2-time All-Star, rebounding champ, block champ, 1 time each. Same year, I might add. Not that that matters. I'm trying not to. I'm literally like walking on eggshells. I'm looking at the year and I'm trying not to say it. Like I told you, I try to do that. 2-time NBA champ, 2-time All-NBA player, 2-time All-Defensive player, Finals MVP, 6th Man of the Year, and 75th anniversary team member. So there, I'm gonna let that simmer for a second. Maybe again, this one's a hard one to talk out loud because you're gonna. It's one player. It's not like the Chicago Packer kind of thing,
right? Yeah, where I'm about.
Michael, you look like you've been thinking hard since I started. So, Michael, anything there?
Dude, I have little to no. Can you repeat it slowly?
Yeah.
Just for my partner Shannon.
Yeah,
I
of course.
Be nice.
I have the trivia voice going on here, talking fast. This player is a NBA 75 anniversary team member. They're a Hall of Famer, 2-time All-Star, 1-time rebound and block champ in the same year, 2-time NBA champion. They're a 2-time All-NBA player. The team, unfortunately, is not listed on Basketball Reference of what number, first, second, or third team. So I just have to give you what I have in front of me. They're a 2-time All-NBA player, 2-time All-Defensive player, 19. I almost said it. There we go. Look, I put the brakes on.
2000. I knew it wasn't.
75th anniversary team, 2,000 players. That literally there's only 7 of them. So sorry, I cut out 7 more. But there's your hint. It's not 2000. There you go. I gave y'all 20 years cut off.
I knew it wasn't.
Finals MVP, 6th Man of the Year, and 75th anniversary team member.
Oh, this is probably back in the day. This was definitely back in the day right here, man, because blocks wasn't a stat until 1979.
I'm trying to give you other hints, but I can't think of any. I'm trying to think around the box here. I just can't.
79 until 79. So
I think you have enough. I just thought it out myself for a second there while you guys were thinking. I think you have enough. I'm not going to give you any hints, but I have another hint later.
I mean, because I narrowed it down to 3 after that.
Michael, how many do you have it narrowed down to, my friend?
Dude, I have no idea.
Okay. Hey, you have the lead right now, right? You have the lead right now. Right? 4-3. Am I correct?
Narrowed it down to
yeah, I have 4.
Okay. I know Michael has another podcast after this, so I'm definitely not going to put a timer too long on this one.
I know.
We'll leave plenty of time. The next couple, they aren't going to be super long answers-wise. Question 8, you'll have 30 seconds to answer it. So we got time to make up.
You said 30 seconds to answer.
So, all right, Michael. I'm doing this for your own good because I know you said you have a podcast after this. So that's why
I know.
Strictly for your own good.
I know.
And for point's sake. I give you 10 seconds. Any answer, by the way, I encourage this. It's not a rule because there's only 3 rules like I mentioned at the top, but I do encourage writing. I told you last time with Carson because we've had some hilarious responses. I will find a compilation of those at some point, I'm sure. So I'm going to ask for a lock-in.
I got it wrong, but I wrote an answer.
Okay. All right, we'll go with Shannon first.
I narrowed it down to 3.
Tell me the 3.
I was thinking of Detlef Schrempf, who was the first non-American player to win the 6th Man of the Year award. And then I narrowed it down to Kevin McHale. But I'm going to go with his teammate, the late, great Bill Walton.
Okay.
Wow, that would be That'd be awesome. I just threw a name in the hat, and I probably got it wrong. But I did one of the Malones. I did Carl Malone.
I see Karl Malone there. You got it.
Come along.
Right. I'm going to be short and sweet on this. As an NBA historian, part of being an NBA historian is respecting those who came before you. And one of the most influential players of his era, who unfortunately passed away the week of Memorial Day weekend, Bill Walton. Bill Walton is the correct answer. No sugarcoating that one. Bill Walton was an incredible player. Played less than 500 games in his career. But now that I tell you that obviously would have been a big giveaway. Less than 500 games in his career, and he put up that resume. Averaged a double-double, was the best passer in the league until Jokic was born.
Yeah.
Because that's basically when that torch got passed, right, for being real. But seriously, like 40 years as the best passing big ever. Like, it's crazy to think that. People need to go spend time watching the Bill Walton. Anything Bill Walton related. Documentary, it doesn't matter. Also, shout out to Boston for doing a tribute yesterday. So, all right, we're going to keep rolling. So, congrats on the point there, Shannon. If I believe I'm correct, you tied it up at 4-4. So, we'll keep rolling for the sake of time. All right, question 7. Josh Hart played back-to-back 48-minute playoff games for Coach Tibbs and the Knicks in Game 1 and Game 2 of this year's playoffs, 2024, in Round 2. So 48-minute playoff games back-to-back. The last player to do this, period, was in 2013, who also played for Coach Tibbs. Who was that player? So I'll read the question again. Josh Hart played 48 minutes back-to-back, so 48-minute games, playoff games, back-to-back for Coach Tibbs. And the last player to do that, period, was 2013, who also played for Coach Tibbs. Who was that player?
It was on my Bulls, too.
So, look, I made up for all the Mike stuff earlier because I have actually unintentionally given out some Chicago questions because of the Zephyrs and Packers. And then, he's like, thinking about the Bulls here. Whether that's right or wrong, I'm not going to give you any hint or any help. But, maybe not.
I think I got it.
He did coach. Coach Tibb did coach the Bulls, so that's not really not a secret to anyone here. Right? It's Michael. I helped you out there, maybe, but I think you knew that. So.
No.
I think I got it. I think I got it.
Okay.
No. Shannon, it's your Chicago team. Can Shannon go first on this one?
Sure. Yeah.
Since I went first on my Miami Heat.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
All right.
As much time for the finale as possible.
And I was going to say Joakim Noah, but I'm going to go with old big bucket, Jimmy Buckets, Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
So my thing was Derrick Rose would have been an obvious answer, but he had issues. He had to sit. Joakim Noah, a big guy. I'm going to go Luau Deng.
I thought you were going to say Luau Cinder the way you started that. I was like, Luau who? There it is. Your camera is struggling now. Okay, we got it.
It's really bad.
You're good. All right. The correct answer is Jimmy Butler. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Is Jimmy Buckets, Jimmy Juju.
I remember that because, man, everybody was getting hurt around Jim, and they were thinking that Jim couldn't win. And that was the reason why I was like, yeah, that's Jimmy that got that because
I'm wearing a Jimmy Butler right now.
I love it. Yeah, look down, right? I should have told you, look down.
I had him first. So I want to hear it. I had him first.
I love it. No, I should have told Michael to look down for the fun of the episode. That would have been great. All right. We're going to keep rolling. Like I said, we got to leave plenty of room for the finale. The longest part of the finale is figuring out the points at the end of it. It's my least favorite part. All right. Question number 8. You have 30 seconds. Closest to the number without going... I say loosely there. I'm not actually timing you, but you get my point. Closest to the number without going over. So we're doing this Price is Right style, I think. Or, yeah. Closest to the number without going over. It's Price is Right style. The Knicks and the Pacers played in a Game 7 this year, right? So that's the last time that happened, right? So this is actually number, 1 second. This number is actually outdated. We're going to go off of when that happened. We're going to go off when that happened because there was a Game 7 in the next round, Game 7 in the next round, right? We'll go off when I wrote it down. The Knicks and the Pacers played in the blank amount of Game 7s in NBA playoff history when they faced off. I don't know how to word that really.
Is that the updated one?
No, this is the number of when I wrote this question down. I can do that. While y'all are thinking, I can do the number real quick if you want.
No,
but
say that.
As of this finals, we'll do this. As of this finals, how many Game 7s have happened in NBA playoff history? That's a better way to word it. There we go. Yeah, the wording was terrible on my part.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
Game 7s.
How many Game 7s have been played in NBA playoff history? So I'll go real quick and make sure the number's right. But yeah,
you're talking about since the
beginning of NBA history.
Since the beginning of NBA history.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Absolutely. Yep. Let me just double check and make sure because I wrote it down at the end of the Knicks Pacers series.
How many Game 7s have been played in the NBA playoffs period as a whole?
Yep. NBA playoff history, Game 7s. Just the number of Game 7s. Closest to the number without going over. And then I have an opportunity for a bonus point, but do not worry about that until I tell you. It will make sense in a second. I'm going to give you until it takes me to go to the NBA schedule bracket because it's taking me forever to get there for some reason. All right. I am there now. That number counted.
I'm so going to be wrong. I really think I'm like super.
The number has not changed.
Dang!
Actually, I take that back. I don't know. We're going to go with the number hasn't changed because it would have changed the same round, and it's the Timberwolves and Nuggets played as well in the same round. Hasn't happened since, so I'm pretty sure this number is as of when that happened. So it would be off by 1, and I'm just going to go with the original number I wrote because it's basically the same. How about that?
I think I'm way wrong.
Probably are.
We're going to lock in an answer real quick.
Wait.
Probably are.
No,
I'm good. I'm good.
Wrong.
Okay. While Shannon's writing it down, I got it. Michael, give me your answer.
All right. My camera loves to mess with me. I think it's in the triple digits. I didn't want to go over, so I lowballed it a little bit, and I did 108.
Oh.
Okay.
Whenever it shows up.
I got it. I believe you. Shannon?
I'm bored. I went with 100.
All right. For a bonus point, write down in 5 seconds, because I don't want to take much time, what percentage does the home team win in Game 7s? Just the first number you can think of, or that you truly believe in, obviously.
All right. I got it.
Okay. Shannon?
65.
Okay. And by the way, this is you have to get it dead on. I'm not going to just get it. Yeah.
I did 59%.
Okay. So the closest to the number without going over, really quick, no one's getting a bonus point. 75% of home teams win in Game 7s. 75%. However, the New York Knicks were not one of those teams to do that. The New York Knicks and the Pacers faced off for the 150th Game 7 in NBA history. So that is Michael by just a little bit. Just a
So I get 1 point there.
Yes. 1 point.
That's 5-5.
5-5. Is that correct, Michael? Do you have 5 as well?
Yes.
Again, this is all up to you to keep up the score. All right, we'll keep rolling because I know the final, finale, all that stuff. We'll keep going. We got the score update. I won't get another score update till after the final. Question 9. This is multiple choice, by the way. I apologize. Multiple choice. What active NBA player has the most steals in a half in NBA history? Is it A, TJ McConnell, B, Derek White, C, Marcus Smart, or D, Patrick Beverly? So I'll read that again. We'll take about a minute. What active NBA player has the most steals in a half, either half, in NBA history? Is it A, TJ McConnell, B, Derek White, C, Marcus Smart, or D, Patrick Beverly?
All right, I'm good.
Wow, that was fast. Okay. Shannon, go right ahead.
Pat Bev.
All right. Michael?
Mine was between McConnell and White. Mine is TJ McConnell.
All right. In March of 2021, unfortunately did not look up the game. I apologize. Or half. I actually don't know which half it is. March of 2021, I do have the stat from when I looked it up originally. TJ McConnell had 9 steals and a half. I do remember this. This is a vivid memory of mine for whatever reason. I just remember him doing it, and I thought it was crazy because of all those people. This is NBA history, by the way. Half TJ McConnell. I wouldn't be shocked if he finished the game with like 10. It's crazy to think.
Hilarious.
So I have to look. I'll look that up and I'll put it in the episode if I can remember it. So, all right. So Michael's up 6-5 there. Keep rolling. Question number 10. What active NBA head coach was the first call up from the at the time D League, now G League as we know it? Who was the active NBA head coach who was the first call up from the D League in Los Angeles Lakers history?
As a player or coach?
As as a player getting called up from the minors to the majors? That's a good question. That's a good question. Coach, I get you. They're a current NBA head coach.
We're the
but
same.
The player, as a player, they got called up.
And we're the same age on top of that too. I remember it too. I don't know the guy's name. I don't know the name, but we're the same age too on top of that. Yeah, do I get points by name his age? You know, we're
No, because the finale you got 48 possible points coming up here. If you could somehow write 48 answers in a minute, but neither here nor there. What active NBA head coach? I'll read it one more time. I want an answer after I'm done reading it. What active NBA head coach was the first call up from the D League at the time in Los Angeles Lakers history? I have the first ever call up in D League history, but that, unfortunately for you guys, you'll have to find out by listening to whatever episode that's used on, because it's an incredible answer. If you know it, do not say it, because obviously if the person could be listening. So, but it's a really cool answer. I just thought this one was cool because active head coach. I wanted to at least narrow down your pool of players a little bit to 30, of course. So, all right, I need an answer, because we'll have about 9 minutes or so to get Michael. Well, hopefully we can get Michael out to a podcast late. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So
I got an answer. It's probably not right.
All right, go ahead.
But is Ty Lue the answer?
Could be.
I think it's Andre Ingram is his name.
Trey Ingram.
I want to say.
So, active head coach that is the first call up in D League history. It was the Celtics coach, now a Rockets coach, Ime Udoka. Udoka. Ime Udoka is the first time.
I knew it wasn't Andre Ingram. I knew it wasn't, because it was the G League when he got called up. He got called up from the G League.
He was he was the oldest player, I think, to get called up. I think, if that's right. Back in 2004, Udoka was playing in the G League, then NBA DL for the Charleston Low Gators. He was averaging 16 and 7. After Kobe went down with an injury in 2004, they called up Udoka on a 10-day contract. This was his first ever NBA opportunity, and he played in 4 games. That was the year that Shaq, Gary Payton, Karl Malone all together there. Fun fact, his sister Mon Udoka was a star player who played for the WNBA for the Houston Comets, and they're the first brother-sister combo to ever play in the WNBA and the NBA.
He will be known as the guy who cheated on Neil Long.
Yeah, and I know you're correct, and we're gonna move on past. You're right. We're gonna move on past that for Michael's sake, for time. All right. So the finale. It's only 60 seconds, but we got to go through the answers, obviously. So you have to obviously answer it. So have your pens up and ready so I can see them. We've always had that rule. Whatever. As soon as I say begin, you can start writing, and until I say end, I'm gonna talk. You just ignore me. Okay. So. Name as many players in NBA history to have played at least 150 playoff games in their career, which is the top 48 to do that. Begin. All right. You have a minute. Name as many players in NBA history to have played at least 150 playoff games in their career, a.k.a. the top 48. All right.
Full names, right?
I mean, if it's LeBron, like, I'm not gonna. This is kind of. I should have probably clarified that. You're right. I'd like you to, just for the sake of fairness, I'd like you to write the full name. But I mean, sure, that's fine. Some of these are obvious, but like if you put Mike, like, come on, guys, like, let's be real for a second. Just put Michael Jordan. Like, just it is what it is, right? These are not answer choices. I'm just giving you hypotheticals.
When you go by your first name,
fair. Yeah.
You're the greatest.
Yeah. 15 seconds. I was trying to give a half update, but I didn't look down fast enough. 10 seconds. And I'll say pins down or whatever. If you're writing in the middle of the name, you can finish it out. 5 seconds. And pins down. That is a full minute. All right. Really quick, for the sake of time, how many answers total do each of you have? Somebody give me an answer.
I got
5. I have 10.
Oh, God. Okay. We're going to start with Michael, just for the sake of he has a podcast soon and the fact that we can get through these and blitz through them. I'm just going to go and I'll just mark them down. Shannon, if he says an answer, then you just write it down and you tell me if you, at the end, we'll get you a number right. Make sure everybody's got their number right. And we'll get the score kind of, build it up a little bit. So, Michael, who's your first answer?
Dwayne Wade.
Let me scan through and find it because there's 48 possible answers. Dwayne Wade is correct, and I'm keeping y'all score on this one.
Okay. LeBron James.
LeBron James is correct.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan is, while I find it, how many did he play in? He's got to be up here somewhere because this guy
He's in there. He's had 6 finals.
Yeah, I
so-
found it. There we go. We're good. Mike, that was your third, right? Yep.
Yep. Scottie Pippen.
Scottie Pippen, fun fact, has more than him. Scottie Pippen is 10th with 208. Michael is 20th with 179. So who's the better player?
Bill Russell.
That is a great one as well. Bill Russell has 165. He makes the list. That's your fifth
Kevin
one,
Durant.
correct?
Yeah, Kevin Durant.
That is a good answer. Yep.
Kyrie Irving.
That is an interesting choice, and I will find out in editing where he is, but he is not on the list.
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird is correct. A lot lower than I thought.
And Kobe Bryant.
I think he's played in a few of those, 220.
And then my last one was Shaquille O'Neal.
I think he's also played in a few of them, a few less than Kobe, 4 of less to be specific. He is 9th. Yes. If I got that right, that is 9 out of 10.
Yep.
All right. Shannon, how many of those did you get right? And is there any that you did not right? Or he did not right?
Got 6, as a matter of fact, and Mike got mine. So it was Mike, LeBron, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Scottie Pippen, and D Wade.
All right, so Magic is a different one. Michael did not get Magic Johnson.
Oh, my bad. He didn't say Magic. My bad.
Good. So read your list one more time.
Okay, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Scottie Pippen, and Dwayne Wade.
Is that 6 or 7?
No, it's 6. 1,
6.
2,
All right.
3, 5, 6.
Just so people aren't confused.
Oh, I don't.
I
The finale
did
is
write these.
the finale is fine as long as you just flash it up real quick. All right, so add your score up really quick, and then let me know what the total score is. Again, I don't have it in front of me anymore. So
you get points for everyone you
each
got.
one,
Right?
everyone, you get one right. Yep.
And Mike won. Yeah, Mike won.
Yeah, he got in his bag on a couple of those. It's like, oh my god. There's a few. I'm like, wow. Okay, that's interesting.
I did 15 total.
Yeah, 11.
11. All right. Final score 15 to 11. I'll really quick read the top, let's say 15 or so, because I know Mike's got to get going. It's 2:15 on the dot, and I promised
yeah.
2:15.
Wow.
So really quick, I'll read the top 15, and then I can post the where I got it from in the comments. People can check it out. Number 1, LeBron James with 287. Number 2, Derek Fisher. Nobody got Derek Fisher. That's crazy to me. I'm just joking. I'm obviously joking. Tim Duncan, Robert Horry, number 4. Big Shot Bob. He won a million titles. Of course, it makes sense. Kareem, Tony Parker at 6. Kobe at 7. Manu Ginobili at 8. Shaq at 9. Scottie Pippen at 10. Danny Ainge rounding out the number 11 spot. Karl Malone, Magic Johnson, Julius Erving just behind Magic. Robert Parrish, Byron Scott, Al Horford, who's going to continue to climb this list at least 4 more times, potentially. John Stockton, Dennis Johnson, and rounding out the top 20, Michael Jordan. Kind of funny that right behind him is Andre Iguodala. So, again, there's a lot of fun names on there, but that is your list. Draymond Green is out there in the 40s. Gary Payton, Jerry West is in the 40s. Serge Ibaka makes the top 48. You've got some choice names in there for sure. So, fellas, I'll wrap it up here. I can do the outro later, but really quick on your way out. Michael, I know you got to go. Plug away. Let people know about Out of Pocket and all that stuff, just like you did at the top.
Yeah, Out of Pocket with Michael Davis. You can follow us on Instagram at outpocket_TRSR. Drop the Mic Wrestling Podcast at Drop the Mic Wrestling. Both of those are on Instagram. My Twitter is right here, and I can send Trevor a graphic with all my other stuff. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. You guys have been a huge part of Out of Pocket and all the stuff I've been building. I'm excited because we're about to enter a boom period when it comes to the broadcasting industry. So I'm super excited to keep doing work alongside you guys and excited to be here. And I got the dub. Woohoo!
Man.
Good game, Shannon. Good game.
It was good. It was an incredible game. Seriously, I was impressed. 15 to 11. It makes me I need to rethink all of this because that's insane. I want it to be less than 10 points. Congrats, fellas. Shannon, real quick, plug away.
All right, thank you guys for having me on the show. I'm going to be continuing doing work with MD over here with Out of Pocket. Hopefully when he has me on there with Drop the Mic Talking Wrestling. We've got a show July 6th at Ferguson SEC Wrestling. We're going to be commentating once again, 3rd time we're doing it. Hopefully it'll lead to more work. Looking forward to getting my own show because Mike has made like a really dope graphic and I'm like so mad that I'm not really thinking of a show yet. I'm the only guy here that doesn't have a show, but that is coming. Thank you guys for having me, Trevor. Thanks a lot. If there's anybody I want to talk basketball with, it is definitely you, my friend. I appreciate you having me.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.